Alrighty, let's meet with Lychee. Actually, wait, let's not do that. Let's do this instead. Because I kind of just randomly shot out a scout to guess where this was, and I was right. So let's go take care of this, the big boss of this circle, and maybe not have to kill the other two people, three people. That was way deeper, way more of a cliff than I thought that was going to be. Here. Oh. Only one. There's only one guy. If we can't take care of this one guy while we're here. Quite simple. Over there. Cool. Father. I thought you were dead. There you are. And now we continue on. Way. Very dramatic music for running through a field.
No. そうなやつも鉄の手か。悪行もここまでじゃ。そうくんに鉄の手を打ったと伝えよう。この国のことを知れば、二枚家の利となるよう立ち回ると思う。
Oh, I forgot that I did the rush assassination. I have the Sarigama equipped. That was a little awkward, but got the job done. Real glad that guy just is off in his own little world.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
It goes okay.
Okay.
I killed the Iron Hand.
My brain went like 3 different places for that joke. You killed the RZA?
He had to go. It was unfortunate.
Did you ever see that movie, by the way?
The Man with the Iron Hands?
Man with the Iron Fists,
Or,
but yeah.
no. I know it's supposed to be pretty
alright.
good.
It's not the worst. It's not the worst weird kung fu movie I've ever seen for sure. It's got Kurt Russell playing like a crazy fucking English like opium smuggler who's actually one of the heroes.
Is Batista in that, or is he in the second?
Yeah,
Okay.
Batista is in that one, and he's just playing an exalted character. It's fucking great. He just turns his body into sick metal and then punches fools. Also, I can't remember if it was after credits or if it was just at the end of the movie, but it had one of the most bizarre sequel hooks I've ever seen in my life. Because if I remember correctly, just a man dressed like a bird just carries off one of the main characters.
Sure.
And they're just like, well, we gotta get him back from the nest.
As you do when you get abducted by a bird. Shouldn't jump off this because I should just fast travel out.
Oh, but how has the Assassin's Creeding been going?
It's been going very well. Been having a good time running around off stream and just collecting.
I have spent the last like 2 weeks, all of my days off, just nothing but Monster Hunter, getting my second character up to the point where my first character was, and I think I'm pretty much there. I still need to grab a couple decorations, but for the most part, characters have now reached parity.
I also switched my other weapon to a Kusarigama because I unlocked the ranged assassination, and it's very good, turns out.
Okay. Also, apparently you can click on the knowledge points ring
Yes.
on the skill menu to get like a secondary thing of passives.
So that's where once you fill up the 5 skill levels here, then it goes
Okay.
into the passive zone.
All right.
But I figure since I still have a lot of skills to Like I've not been bothering with the passives quite yet.
Makes sense.
But I think I'm ever really going to use that Impale skill because I like the two Naginata skills I have, but you know, it gets me more Naginata damage, like the Naginata for
鉄の手を
Yasuke.
打ちました。幾人かの商人が抗ったため、やむを得ずその者たちも。
それは言うてもせんなきことだ。とにかく悪しき者たちは消えた。ささやかだが受け取るがよい。
Hooray! Oh yeah, also off stream, I just found a random dude and killed him, and then it's just like, here's a circle you don't even know about. I thought that was moderately entertaining.
That happened to me when I first went to go do the Hanoji mission. There was a guy on the way that I took out while investigating a castle, and I just got a ring for unknown organization.
At some point, I should probably, because I haven't really like upgraded my gear in a bit, so I should probably upgrade my gear at some point. But that's a problem for off stream.
Upgrade isn't actually just go pay money to get them up to level, or like replace.
Upgrade is in pay money to get them up.
Yeah.
Um, thought about that, and I have completely lost it. I just tried to do the role as Yasuke, and I don't think that would work in any possible universe. Hey, kid.
キーを訪ねとる草原様から文が来た。和尚様が暗殺されとるうちに、俺も会いに行きたい。
一人でか。
俺もそろそろ独り立ちせねばならん。剣術の型を見せてくれんか。修行はそこから始まるのだろう。
さほど容易なものではないが。
Am I doing a kata with
お主が望むのであれば見せてやろう。
Junjiro here?
しかと見ておけ。それがしも我が師、上泉信綱先生を見て型を学んだのだ。
よく見とるぞ。
腰を据え、動きに気を配れ。己の気合を刃に込め、ほとばしらせるのだ。
I'm good at these. It is moderately funny how occasionally terrible I am at just pressing buttons that appear on screen.
I did mess this up the first time I ever did one of these. Also, I kind of wish I do kind of wish that if you fucked up, it would just bail immediately.
Yeah. I also have found that out with the horse archery. There's a lot of I really wish that I missed a thing. Let me just restart instead of having to like press start and do it.
I will say, I guess there's some value to letting it play out after you fuck up like an early button press, because it at least lets you see what the next ones are going to be. So when you redo it, you now have foreknowledge.
すごいな
If it just restarted automatically, you might end up restarting like 5 times. You just, oh, the next one is something I didn't expect. Oh, the next one is also something I didn't
安
expect,
家は
you know?
本当の侍で先生だ
There's a logic to it.
いつも礼儀を忘れるなとおっしゃっておった
草原和尚から多くを学んだようだな。されど、なぜに剣術を学びたいのだ。お主らしくもない。
これは役目を果たすためだ
直江のためか。
そうだ直江が片野でしたことを俺は決して忘れん安家に初めて会ったあの夜俺は兵に囲まれ口も聞けず身動きもできんありさまだったまるで石みたいになそれなのに直江はそばにいてくれた逃げることもできたのに逃げずに守ってくれただから今度は俺が直江をみんなを守りたい
皆を親兄弟のように思うておるのか。
そうだ直江は姉のようなもんだし乙女は祖母のようなもんだそして安家はああ
さて、今一度型をやるか。今度はそれがしと共にだ。
Keep it up, kid. I gotta go talk to my boss's sister. He is in Homie. Oh, Donnie. He's probably around here somewhere. How did that guy... How does this command not notice me? That man was just off in his little world. Having a great time. Also, every so often, I forget that I can't hold down the button to get... Eagle Vision as Yasuke. Scout to find the lady. Gonna hold down the button, but there he is.
よくお越しくださった。お市様がお待ちだ。 では参ろう。確か安土城にもおられたな。
お市様をお守りするためならどこへでも参る。
今のより珍しい忠義者だ。
安家か。よくぞ参った。
What up?
相変わらず礼儀正しいこと。
ここは一体。
我が城じゃ。庭の手入れはこの手で続けたくてな。あのお方
Your home looks a little fucked up,
落
lady.
ち着く庭なれど、いささか悲哀が感じられまする。
人もおらぬしな。兄上は撃たれたか。
謀反人光秀より殿を守って死することかなわず、それがしのような異国者は名誉の死すら遂げられませぬ。
兄上のために死ぬ気であったと。主君を失い浪人になったと聞いておるが。
それがしのような輩を召し抱える者はおりませぬ。
一向一揆に加勢し戦ったとの噂も聞いた。百騎衆という名に聞き覚えはあるか。
百騎衆は織田の権勢を妬み、この乱世をさらにかき乱す鬼どもかと存じまする。
それだけにとどまらぬ。この地で暗躍するならず者どもじゃ。
I mean, they're in more than just Omi. I want to point that out.
そなたを呼んだのは他でもない。できることなら百騎衆を止めたいが、私にはそのようなことはできぬ。近江での百騎衆の動きを記してある。民から多くを奪い取り、鉄砲鍛冶を襲おうとしておるのじゃ。
我らにお任せを。懐かしくお思いですか。
もう昔のこと。良き日々じゃった。兄上がどのような最後を遂げたのか聞かせてくれぬか。
炎をものともされず、抜いた刀をそのままに、歌の一節を演じられました。殿は人間50年下天の内を比べれば、
夢幻のごとくなり、ひとたび賞を受け滅せぬもののあるべきか。兄上は敦盛がお好きであった。もう一つ頼みを聞いてはもらえぬか。
何なりとお市様。
伊崎寺で待っておるぞ。
寺と。
そうじゃ。兄上の始めたそなたの侍修行を続けねば、そなたには恩があるでな。
Okay.
何なりとお申し付けを、麗しのお市様。
盗み聞きなどしよって。
それが忍びの習いだ。受け取った書きつけを見せろ。
百騎衆の手先となり、 長浜でよからぬことを企んでおる大官がおるようだ。
そしてそやつらの頭、涙を流す面をつけておるのか。
なら
The wheel keeps on turning.
すぐにかかるか。
Ugh.
それがしが行こう。
何か新たに分かったら知らせる。
Any quest.
I did like Naue popping out just to tease him.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
During the quests with Gum Lady, Katsuhime. I was trying to make it Gatsuhime. That's not right. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good picking on Naue from Katsuhime, so there's at least that as well.
Oh, there's something I keep forgetting to try as Yasuke, because as Naue, if you unequip your weapons, you get sick hand-to-hand moves. And I keep forgetting to try that as Yasuke to see if he also has, like, well, I'm assuming he must also have sick hand-to-hand moves.
He, in fact, does.
Nice. Naue can do, like, a flying roundhouse, which is fun.
I got a charm that like increases the damage of unarmed attacks for Naue.
Nice. That's probably useful somewhat, because the hand-to-hand attacks are not strong. I did it for fun to see if I could, like, non-lethally take people out, and it works, but also
It
it's
takes
not.
forever.
Yeah.
What up?
安家船出の支度はできておるか。
整いましてございまする。ぜひ修練を
This a euphemism?
いただければと。
さようか。ついてまいれ。さて、伊崎寺から白髭神社まで参るとしようではないか。ここは清らかな湖。それを渡るは白髭
Is continuing a samurai education just another term for something?
I mean, everything's a euphemism if you say it with the right tone of voice.
Come along, let's continue your samurai education.
See?
はい。雨が降ればさらに大きくなりまする。
Come with me. We're gonna row this boat to Isakiji Temple.
この心奪われる景色は見飽きることがない。
水底には物の毛や竜が
You know what else swells with the seasonal rains?
慎まぬか。それなら大向では異常符が好物と聞くぞ。はるか昔、俵のトータと異名を取る豪傑がおった。
What? That's a horrible
そ
nickname.
う呼ばれるようになった天末じゃ。俵のトータこと藤原の秀里は数百年も昔に帝にお仕えしたものでな。とある日、秀里は近江の継承として名高い大津にある瀬田の
Look, all the best heroes are named after food.
それがその
Look at Dragon Ball.
橋を渡る途中、水の中に竜を
What food is
顔
Goku?
を上げると橋の上に
Well, because his name is Kakarot.
Oh, that's
He's a
right.
carrot.
I forgot about that part.
海の色の衣を
And Vegeta is a vegetable, and they're from the planet Vegetable.
そして
It's a whole thing.
わしは湖の底にある
Everyone has terrible pun
竜
names.
神であると言うた。
はあ、機械な。
その姿はまこと恐ろしげであったが、
It's like Bulma. Well, it's not food, but Bulma's whole family is named after underwear. Bulma is Bloomers. Her last name is Briefs. Whenever she has a daughter with Vegeta, they name their daughter Bra.
It's not food if you're not brave enough.
I mean, there is edible underwear. You're right.
That's definitely what I was making a joke about. Yep.
Also, I like that I've taken this detour to dumb Dragon Ball names instead of reading about the cool mythology lesson she's giving.
Yeah.
I feel like if you let a giant monster eat one of your children every month, like, you're doing something wrong.
That's on you.
Also, just kind of passively letting one of your children be eaten every month is a really good metaphor for America these days.
I was gonna say, relating to passively letting your children get eaten. I don't know if it's accurate or not, because I read it on the internet, and you know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw something talking about some H.P. Lovecraft story about someone who got cursed by a sorcerer to, like, all the men in his family would die before they turned 30.
Yeah.
And so he was like, I'm gonna dive really hard into trying to find a counter curse. And then it just turned out that the sorcerer was just murdering people. Like, just breaking into his house and murdering his family.
Mm-hmm.
The part where you went, yeah, makes me think that is in fact real.
The Alchemist, short story written by American writer H.P. Lovecraft, was written in 1908 when Lovecraft was 17 or 18, and first published in the November 1916 issue of the United Amateur. Also, I want to point out, hold on. Yeah, basically, some dude's ancestor was responsible for the death of a dark wizard named Michel Mauvois. The wizard's son, this is a direct quote, Charles Le Sorcier, Chuck Sorcerer, swore revenge not only on him but all his descendants, cursing them to die upon reaching the age of 32. Count Antoine recounts all his ancestors all died in some mysterious way around the age of 32. The line has dwindled, and the castles have been left to fall into disrepair, tower by tower. Antoine is the only one left, with one poor servant, Pierre, who raised him. His 32nd year is approaching. His servant dies, leaving Antoine completely alone. He begins exploring the ruined parts of the castle. He finds a trap door, passage with a locked door at the end. Just as he turns to leave, he hears a noise behind him and sees the doors open and someone is standing in it. The man attempts to kill him and a fight ensues with Antoine killing the stranger. The man's last words reveal he is none other than Charles, who actually managed to successfully fabricate the elixir life, enabling him to personally fulfill the curse generation after generation.
Perfect.
The story is retold from the point of view of Charles Le Sorcier in the Blue Oyster Cult song The Alchemist. So there you go.
All right.
Look, Lovecraft had some questionable ideas and some terrible ideas and some really good short stories.
Yeah.
I love the concept of, like, a family curse, and it's just a dude hiding in your fucking basement.
It's one of those things where, like, is a person who was right for the wrong reasons. Or not, well, like, he was right that the scariest thing is the unknown. He was wrong for what the response to the unknown should be. Let's put it that way.
You're right But also, I feel like it's one of these where he's right. The scariest thing is the unknown, but also that's not the greatest mindset to have when you're like an anxious introvert who's been shut off from 90% of the world your whole life.
That is also true. Which is probably part of the reason why his response to it was not the greatest. Let's say.
安土には良き思い出がいくつもございまする。剣の稽古はもちろんのこと、信長様の姿も。例えば、先ほどの能の歌いなどは。
Physics.
いかがであった？敦盛は500年ほど昔の源平合戦で討ち死にした平家の若武者であった。潔さ、物の負の心、笛の教養を備えた敦盛のようなものでさえ破滅は免れぬ。
望みは常にあり申す。
されど草の上の朝露のごとく、望みはいつも消えゆくもの。さあ、着いた。
おかげで大恩ある信長様に思いを馳せることができ申した。
幼き頃はよう可愛がってもらった。じゃが何せああいう気性であられたからな。我が務めと覚悟はしていたが、後に織田の敵となる浅井長政に嫁がされもした。
では織田二条は浅井様のご居城。
さよう。大名の鏡のようなまこと立派な方であった。娘を3人授かり、幸せな夜せを過ごした。
Then
その後、兄上と長政は戦で争い、兄上が勝った。尾張の魔王に誰が立ち向かえよう。
I'll do it.
結果、織田二条は焼かれ、我が夫は自害、浅井家は断絶。そして夫のシャレ神戸は宴の見せ物にまでされたのじゃ。
この乱世、力で己を示さんとしたか。
Beginning to think this Nobunaga guy was not the nicest person in the world.
これは兄上の脇差しじゃ。本能寺の変の後、私の手に。
確かに見覚えがござる。
刃は復讐の道具なれど、復讐と慈悲は並び立たぬ。故に時として我らは思い悩む。もしも明日には城が落ちると覚悟したなら、最後の一夜をそなたはどう過ごす？
Wink.
叶うならばあなた様と。
安家、私も。いいえ、なりませぬ。もう行かなくては。達者でな、安家。
お市様もお達者で。
ああ、百騎衆の棟梁について一つだけそなたに言えることがある。そのものは日の本でかなりの地位にあるという。用心することじゃ。
Leader of the Shinbakufu, you're too high.
look for a shrine getting absolutely hotboxed. That was less deep than I expected.
A little bit.
Man, remember those rad shipwrecks you
Yeah.
could find in Odyssey?
That was a good time. I'll also admit that I'd kind of been operating under the assumption that Mitsuhide was the leader of the group, but the way that Oichi was saying it, that makes me think maybe he's not the leader.
Yeah, I thought that too, but right after I got done with the whole, reveal and the Nobunaga stuff, I checked my objectives list, and Mitsuhide is just like the guy to the right of the leader on the spot. And then the leader is still just listed as because yeah, I assumed that the whole point of it's like, oh, Mitsuhide had the mask because that was his mask. But no, apparently not. Unless it is, and he just like rotates one over on the circle whenever you find out.
Who can say? Well, people who have beat the game can say, probably. Which is not me. Dirty tree. Hey, what's up? You know, if the objective is to try to figure out who's trying to fuck up the factory, like, this seems like maybe not the best way to go about it, but, you know. They hit me first, I guess. Why get up there? Oh. Oh, there's a ladder. That also probably would have been a smart thing to do.
大量に作る長浜の鉄砲鍛冶は信長様にとって小中の玉であった。百騎衆が他の者にその力を持たせまいとするも当然であろうな。火薬だと町ごと吹き飛ばそうというのか。湖に向かわねば。
So is there like a Shinbakufu power struggle? Oh my god, Yasuke. These are cool, like, big ships. I want this to be known. I'm sure they have a name, but I don't know what it
違い
is.
ない隠されている火薬を探さねば
I guess you can't climb that rope.
Apparently not.
To be fair, it looked like a low resolution rope.
見事なものだなれどそれがしが見てきたような
These wood panels, though.
耐えられぬであろう
That poor man.
His poor spine. Don't fire explosives near the gunpowder, you idiot. What are you doing?
There's a lot of explosives on this ship.
Oh.
I mean, the game says to stop the shipment. Would it be upset if you just blew the whole thing up? Oh god, do you have to wait for that guy to swim up here?
No, I have a gun.
Okay.
That was very funny, though.
I like those other three enemies are just like sitting there waiting that whole time.
Yeah, you know.
Just stand there and let him shoot our boss 3 times in the water.
We didn't like him anyway. He's doing us a favor. Surely you won't turn his Naginata on me. Oh god, my arms. There's so many enemies.
国の火薬なのに隠そうとしてやる次は火種を見つけねば
Oh, I guess I am stopping this shipment by exploding it.
Well, alright.
Or I'm not? I don't know. And well, this guy's just like, where'd everybody go?
I guess they would like for you to cinematically blow up the boat.
That seems to be the case.
But realistically, if it's a boat full of gunpowder and they have it all uncovered on the back like that, I feel like you could have just shot it from like your mini boat and this would have worked.
Also, it's a wooden ship with a bunch of explosives on it. Like
that too.
この火薬はここで処分する船を降りよう
I mean, also, you've already killed everyone. You could just, like, turn the boat and direct it towards your hideout.
And
The
have a
shipment is
bunch of sweet
stopped.
gunpowder.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys could find a use for that.
I have a
You're
gun lady.
assassins. That's a cool bird.
これは痛快
Yasuke is psyched.
I'm sorry, that was the explosion we got out of that?
It really was very anticlimactic.
That was not what I expected. The whole boat was fucking drenched in gunpowder. There were barrels and urns everywhere. There's that.
Who set these explosives up? Kenny Omega?
Oh Good pull. Oh man, when I saw that pay-per-view on Dynamite, and I saw that ending,
I laughed very hard.
that was a pay-per-view, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I can't remember if it was pay-per-view or not. All I remember is seeing that ending with Kenny Omega and Eddie Kingston, and just seeing that
John Moxley and
explosion
Eddie
being
Kingston.
like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Kenny Omega was the one who set up the bomb.
Yes.
Yes, but when I saw that, I legitimately was like, this might be the end of the company. That was really embarrassingly bad. They hyped this up a lot, and then that was a really, really flaccid finish. But then they actually spun it off into something good. I liked Eddie Kingston's, like, getting heart palpitations whenever there was a loud noise. Like, I think they did a good job salvaging that. But at the time, it was like, oh, that was real bad.
Like, I guess I can't fast travel while I'm swimming. I regret to inform you, Yasuke, girls were in fact watching. I feel like I always forget I have a horse.
What's up, tiny child?
貧しい者、安家殿、ようこそ八幡へ。
近江の百姓らが困っておるとのことだが、
百鬼衆とつながり、悪事を働く代官がおってな。
大役を任されておきながら忠義に背くとは。
そうだな。お主はどうなんだ？信長様、そしてお市様への忠義は？
是非もない。お市様にはお目をかけていただき、信長様には自由を頂戴した。
さすがはお二人が見込まれた御仁。これ、近江における汝をお話しよう。百鬼衆は二人目の代官を送り込み、 本物偽物呼ばわりした。
狡猾な。
代官に手出しはできん。民は泣き寝入りじゃ。
聞き捨てならんな。
There is something funny to me that when the game started, all the masked people were like, oh, they're a super secret organization, and it's going to take you hours to even find out the name of their group. And then you run into this guy, and he's like, oh yeah, they work for this evil group. Masked dudes. I know their name. It's cool. The news has gotten out. Everybody just knows those guys are around now.
Yeah.
お市様の警護役として顔を知られておる。
お市様の名が出てはならぬ。事の次第は自ら確かめるとしよう。
I'm too famous to be effective. Also, wait, that guy's excuse for why he's not going to do it is that he's too, like, noticeable.
I imagine that
Like,
makes
I would stand out. I would stand out too much if I went and did this. People know who I am.
I imagine it makes more sense if you do this quest as Naue. If you can. I don't know if you can talk to that guy as Naue. I don't know.
I just think it's funny because it's like I feel like that guy's like, oh, I'm too well known as like Oichi's bodyguard, and it's like fair, that makes sense.
I'm
But I feel like
Nobunaga.
Yasuke would be even more well known as like, oh no, what happened?
As we are having this discussion.
Well timed. Thank you, small child.
代官どこのお侍さ。
ごめん。
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I feel like you'd be very famous as that dude what Nobunaga had around him all the time.
Kill the drunk guy. Ow. Alright, drunk guy dead. I can't imagine any armor that man had on him would fit Yasuke, but, you know, whatever.
It's all D&D style magical armor where you just attune to it and it shapes to your size.
Makes sense.
知れ者は成敗したぞ。
ありがてえ。じゃが本当に困っとるのはそいつの上役でな。悪代官は安土におる。
代官は安土の堀のそばに住んでおるのか。では顔を拝みに行くとしよう。
I was gonna say, I bet it's the one question mark, but then I found the Daikon Mansion bit that I had stumbled on, and apparently just missed a question mark directly next to it somehow. Excuse me. A child is like, oh, sick, murder is happening right in front of me. This is what I think about your comment that weapons must be stowed. Hello.
死を積みて会合とは一網打尽にしてくれよ。
That looks like a man who needs to get the business.
And I believe he got the business.
I just want to point out that you gave that man an extra upswing after his head came off.
It's fine.
I feel like I'm just saying it feels like a. I stick with my thing of sometimes it just feels like Yasuke's doing a Mortal Kombat fatality of like, doesn't this feel like a bit much? Like you could have stopped halfway through that, and I'm pretty sure the guy was dead. Or just skip straight to the end.
Tough on you.
I thought you were gonna assassinate. Oh, you did assassinate that lady. It just took longer than I thought to happen.
Yeah. Oh.
I was gonna make a comparison when you read up to the guards that you were like that Monty Python and the Holy Grail scene of Lancelot running into the castle. But now that you've assassinated that random lady, it continues to hold much truer. Just run in, stab everyone, leave. Job well done. Thank you, brave Sir Yasuke.
Look at the baby kitten, yay. I'm over here, sitting here being famous.
民百姓を支えてやるのも武士の務め。皆を支えようとは立派な心がけ。礼を言うぞ。お主も民を思うておるのだな。今でこそお市様の家来じゃが、元は百姓だったのでな。ではいかにしてお市様に？昔、浅井長政様がうちの村で相撲試合を催されたんじゃ。浅井様？北近江の大名にして。お市様のご福君じゃ。亡くなられたがな。この図体と力を痛く気に入られてな。うちの親父に一国を与え、わしを召し抱えてくださったんじゃ。ほう。それがしも信長様に取り立てられた身。似ておるな。安家殿、その話を知らぬ者などおらぬわ。果たして喜んでよいものやら。ああ、忘れるところじゃった。百騎衆の手先になっておる代官は他にもおるのだ。礼を申す。決して無駄にはすまい。では、
達者でな。
万事支度は整った。塩津へ向かい仲間と落ち合おうぞ。
Sometimes I wish that it would put the put the city names a little bigger on like the zoomed out, so I don't have to zoom like all the way in to just be like, okay, where am I going?
Yeah, I get that. I don't mind zooming in too much just because it's a fairly large map. It's like I end up zooming in for most things anyways.
Yeah.
Especially when I realized how few things actually show up on the fully zoomed out version.
It's basically just the big overall regions on the fully zoomed out one.
Yeah. Phew. As funny as it is to have Yasuke just obliterating haystacks, I do wish there were more like down to earth like fast travel things for him.
Yeah.
Then again, I guess the idea is they want you to be able to fast travel to a point where you could then have a look around at the surrounding area. But okay, so here's my thought. If you didn't have to do that, if you weren't like beholden to like getting the viewpoint of the whole surrounding area, you remember how in Brotherhood when you called in someone to do an assassination and they would just appear
Out of nowhere?
an area, out of a thing?
Yeah.
That should be Yasuke's fast travel.
That would be neat.
Is like you click an area and he comes out of the haystack like he was already there, or like out of just a nearby window or something. Just pops up out of the water. Like the Brotherhood assassins would just appear from hiding places. Just have Yasuke do that. I think that would be a very funny way to do his fast travel. It's like, no, he's not getting up to that really high spot. So I like that Naoe just leaves a kunai as a I'll be here later thing.
I've been Yasuke this whole time. Let's stick as Yasuke.
Yasuke stream. I do like both of these characters, though.
Yeah. I am surprised and enjoy how like significantly different they
Yeah,
feel.
I really appreciate that there is a big difference in the gameplay. I mentioned it before, but it's one of my favorite things in the opening of this game. Is they let you play as Yasuke and you just walk through a bunch of dudes in the tutorial and occasionally get turned around in a straight line. But then you switch to playing as Naoe and you fight like a single foot soldier and it's an actual problem.
Yes. Fine. Because like they had the two protagonists in like Syndicate, but other than like a couple extra abilities for each person, like Jacob and Evie were basically the same person.
Didn't Jacob have like better combat stuff?
So because of the way the skills worked out, Jacob would end up with more health because he had like a skill ability that was worth. He had a skill that gave him more health that Evie couldn't take, and Evie had a skill that made her invisible that Jacob couldn't take.
Ah, yeah. But didn't he also have like because they had different weapons and
They
she
had
got
different-
like, the sick cane sword and he got like brass knuckles.
Well, you
right?
could equip the weapons on both of them. It didn't actually
Okay.
matter which one.
For some reason, I thought that they did have like different weapons. Oh, I think it was just that I wanted that like I preferred using
Yeah.
the cane sword with her and the brass knuckles with him because that just made more sense to me.
Yes.
And I think I've internalized that over time as they had different weapons because that is how I played the game.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Because it was... Okay, buddy. Because you had the cane sword for quick but low damage but high stun. You had the brass knuckles that were kind of in the middle, and then kukris, which were high damage, low stun, slow.
Yeah.
But that was a game about being fast, so like the brass knuckles were about as slow as you could feasibly go. I didn't really mean to start this fight, but, you know, sometimes it just happens. Just parry your kick real fast. Hey, let's talk.
何用じゃ。
尋ねるが、御座船はどこにある？
会合があるとかで竹生島へ向かった。
Alright, I'm assuming because this one is called The Wheel Unmasked that you will actually find out who this guy is.
I would assume so.
But it would also be really funny if you just didn't.
"調べたところによると、百鬼衆は竹生島に集うらしい。
ああ、今宵宝厳寺に頭の命でな。
鬼人が命を下すのもこれが最後となるであろう。
どちらかが寺に直行せねば。では行こう。
よし。鬼人を成敗してくれる。
宝願は任せる。
Although, I do just want to point out, the idea of leaving the kunai as a thing of like, hey, meet Naue here later is fun, but it does logically make me think of like, what if there was just a random kunai she threw during a fight that got stuck in something, and then Yasuke saw it and was like, oh, I guess I should wait here. And it's just like days later, and he's like, man, she's taken her time.
That would be fanning. There's a lot of dudes here.
It's a good thing you picked Yasuke.
Yeah.
I mean, presumably if you picked Naue, you'd be approaching from a different angle and being stealthy about it, but also, you could just murder these guys with a Naginata. All that poor... I feel like that guy got it rougher than he should have. Because that man... What out? There were like 3 fully armored dudes standing around, plus the one giant guy with a club, and you used that ability on the little unarmored peasant-looking dude.
It does more damage against the
like,
little dudes.
No, I get it, but it's like you just burned your super meter on the least deserving person in the crowd. Also, I'm sure you have, like, abilities and, like, equipment bonuses and stuff to help it out, but holy shit, adrenaline does just come back in this game, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I've definitely geared all of my characters to be like, I want as much adrenaline as possible, because doing abilities is effective and fun.
You're not wrong. I wish that the big dumb boot attack for Yasuke did more damage and less. Like, I'm not saying I wish it did less knockback, but it is really annoying to boot a guy and it doesn't do a lot of damage, and then you have to go follow him to wherever he landed and kill him. I wish it was a little more effective at taking people out.
Oh.
Or like maybe if the fall damage on enemies was a bit higher.
Did I find another random dude as a part of... Well, I did... Okay. Yeah, uh-huh. I found a random dude and then he, vanished.
Wow, that guy lasted a hit. I don't even think that hit was technically aimed at him and it killed him.
It was not. Who is continuing to want it? Oh, there's 3 people down here who want it. They all got guns. Ah, shit.
やはりな。
驚いたか、ヤスケ。まあ、座れ。
お市様、何故。
さあ、お市様に礼を失することなきよう、どうぞお座りあれ。
訳をお聞かせくだされ。
近江の民を救いたいとの一心からじゃ。
その民から奪ってか。
凶作に見舞われ、民は飢えておった。やむなく私は近江の代官から金を借りたものの、
民を食わせるための借金は膨らみ続けたのだ。
そしてある日、その代官からある一団に誘われた。領民を救えると言われてな。
なんと浅はかなことを。
己の過ちを悟った時にはもはや遅すぎた。
しらじらしい。嘘に決まっとる。
嘘ではない。嘘をついてまで生きて何になる。我が夫は死に、兄上も死んだ。皆死
安家殿、お市様は奴らの企みをご存知なかったのだ。
一つ言ってもよいか。
無論だ。だがそれがしはこのお方には恩義がある。その兄上にも侍として仕えた。今さら裏切れぬ。
死を進むは死のみ。生かしておくわけにはいかん。
罪なき御順を
百鬼衆だろう。
お市様に目をかけられ仕えておっただけだ。
Wow.
止める者の罪をあがなうのはいつも貧しき者じゃ。
あとはそれがしに。
弁財天、知恵と富と美の天女。安家よ、私は知恵に欠けていたようじゃ。熊はなんとか助かろう。
何故黙っておられた。
そなたの動きは読めず、あの娘の怒りを買うは必定であったからな。
いきさつを思えば直江の怒りは至極当然にございましょう。百鬼衆についてお話しください。
Hello.
Hello.
私も詳し
I
く
was
知らん。
sleeping, but I'm here now, at least for a bit.
光秀ならばすべて知っておる。
Is the murder good?
Murder's good.
してお市様は
Have you kicked anyone very far?
Yes. I kicked someone off a
Great.
boat.
Now that's a grand Assassin's Creed
まず
tradition.
はそなたに兄上の刀を授けよう。大切に使うのじゃぞ。あとは己の過ちを悔い、許しを請うて神仏に祈るのみじゃ。怒っとるんだろ
お主にか。
怒って当然だ。お前にとって大切なお市様を殺そうとしたんだからな。
それもまた忍びの習いであろう。
お前たち互いに好いておるな。わかるぞ。だが残念じゃ。大名家の姫様と一介の侍ではな。
故郷では若君と呼ばれていたかもしれんぞ。
何？
Probably not.
いずれ話してやろう。今日ではないがいずれな。
And that day is never.
Hey, there could be like prequel DLC. No. God, could you imagine how terrible prequel DLC would be if they actually made you play with like none of your abilities?
Woof.
The flashbacks are already, it's kind of rough going backwards. Also, as soon as I saw that horse in my game, I had a feeling you were going to get and use that horse.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. It's- Okay. How exactly am I going to return to this man to tell him that I assassinated the corrupt Daikon?
I mean, they said he'd live.
I guess.
He'll be around.
What to do? Guess let's. This is the Yasuke stream. Let's do some Yasuke things. I do kind of wish there was an option for just like, what if I just fast travel to the bottom of the castle?
Like, yeah, I understand wanting to get the viewpoint when you fast travel, but some of these are kind of annoying with Yasuke. Or at least, I wonder if there's a way they could have it like a toggle, where you can go to the top or the bottom, and it's like, you hit like L1 or R1 when you're fast traveling to the place to be like, I want to go on land.
城のわらべどももさぞ喜ぼう。何せ今も安家の果たし合いごっこに興じておるのじゃからな。
あれはまぐれにて。
I do love this thing about Assassin's Creed where like the cutscene has you walking up to the guy, but realistically you like leapt down from the roof.
真のおける信長様のお味方を探さねばなりませぬ。あるいは森蘭丸殿が安土に戻っておられぬかと。本能寺から。
うん。合わせてやろう。ついてまいれ。
Uh-oh.
More flashbacks.
White screen. Yep, I was gonna say white screen. That's usually a flashback sign.
I've unlocked the second tier of regions in Pokemon Conquest, and I think this man is in one of them. I don't remember.
Sense.
I at least remember seeing him on the wiki page explaining who the Pokemon people were in the real life.
Yeah. This dude is almost always included in adaptations of Nobunaga's life story. And in Onimusha 3, he was a massive prick. I can't even remember how many boss fights you have against him, but every time he gets a little more demony, and he's just such an annoying asshole.
優美の極みにございます。
うん。
そう、酒じゃ。琵琶湖の水で作った酒を飲めば力が湧く。
何事かご思案なされるとき、上様は絵を眺めて時を過ごされるのです。
いやはや、これは壮観じゃな。これほどの名品ばかり、ようも集められたものじゃ。
これは上様のお命を奪いかけた鉄砲ですが。
That's the gun that I got in a side quest earlier in the video game, but later in the timeline because, yeah, sure.
支度が整い次第お入りください。上様がお待ちでございます。
安家。 そなたも晴れて侍だな。改めて安土に向かえよ。
I'll be right back.
表を上げよ。なぜその名を選んだのか申してみよ。
あるわらべに
Nobunaga's in a bath, like The Witcher up in here.
It's going to be right back, but when I went to take my headphones off, I saw Nobunaga in a bathtub, and I was like, hold up.
Prepare to be romanced.
そなたの覚悟を表したか気に入った。安家、人はわしの度量が大きいと申す。そうではない。人がそう言うのは、わしが士族の生まれや絵にしより、武勇と忠義に報いるからじゃ。なればこそその。
Oda naked Naga.
ありがたき幸せ。
They say that I'm a generous man, but I am not. You're gonna have to pay for this view.
あのイエズス会、そなたは一員でないにしても内実を心得ておる。
はい。不本意ながらかの者たちと長く過ごしましたゆえ。
かつての主バリニアノは厳しき者だと申したな。 あの者は厳しさだけでなく人心を従わしめる力を備えておる。
千人の者たちが成し得なかったことを成し遂げたのは確かでござりましょう。上様とのお目通りを叶えたのですから。
されどもそなたがバリニャーノを憎んでおるのは見て取れた。何故じゃ。あの者どもの本性に何がある。はばからず申せ。奴らの行いは
Well, I have my answer.
神のためか。
いずこにあっても人というものは善も悪もなせるものにござります。しかしながらあの者らには危うきものを感じざるを得ません。あやつらはこの世のすべてが己のものと信じております。そしてあちこちに手を伸ばしては血にまみれた利を得るのです。
すべて合点がいく。そなたの申す通りだ。 誰しもが勢力を広げ支配することを望む。だが我が目指すは強奪ではない。我が軍勢は戦をもたらすが、それは後の安寧の世をなすため。互いから学べることが多くありそうじゃな。安家、これはほんの手始めじゃ。
Is this a flashback season change or a real season change? It's a flashback season change.
家康、安家の鉄砲の腕前を見せてもらおうではないか。
南蛮ではアルケブスと申します。
わしらも何番から学んだ。見よ。筒と引き金の精密
What's
な
up, Tokugawa? You're important later.
見事なこしらえ物で。
ただのこしらえ物ではない。それを超えておる。長篠ではこの鉄砲を何千丁と使い、武田の騎馬隊を打ち破ることができたのだ。されど、あの戦は虚しくもあった。敵とはいえ、あれほどの武者らが稲穂のごとく倒れる様を見るのはな。これが一斉に火を吹くたびに、馬も人もバタバタと倒れていった。
天下不武のため、あらゆる手立てを用いるべきにございましょう。
賢明じゃな。この先はしかと見えておる。我が波動は火薬と煙の力によって
Nobunaga, the world's first gun nut.
どれほどの腕前か見せてみよ。
He loves to reload in battle.
筒が跳ね上がる。しかと押さえておけ。おお、見事じゃ。おお、見事じゃ。
これは何事だ。
So now that they've done the Japan Assassin's Creed, when do they do like the Wild West Assassin's Creed? When do
That'd
we
be
get
fun.
Cowboy Assassin?
I would enjoy that.
The only game I could think of where it might have happened was Syndicate, but has there ever been a train robbery in an Assassin's Creed game?
There was in Syndicate, yes.
That's what I figured. I was like, you don't put a train in the game and not have a train robbery. That's
I
just
mean,
silly.
I mean, you rob the train and like you steal the actual train, and that's how it becomes your base.
This vaguely rings a bell, but the main thing I remember about the train was how bad the cutscenes all broke once I got on board.
Yes.
よもや安土城内でかようなことが。
イエス、将を皆集めよ。
御意のままに。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I
They're,
don't.
they're ninjas. They get into places they're not supposed to be. That's how they work.
足場殿は音沙汰もなしか。
我らが酒を飲み軍議する間も、上様のため
Bug ninjas again. Gotta call the exterminator.
のんきな。
They're in the walls. You hear them scratching around.
I was gonna say that, like, sitting here thinking about it, like the only other game that I think takes place around the time trains would even exist would be Unity, maybe, but even then, I think that's still a little too early.
See, that's what I was thinking. I think Syndicate is the only game where the timeline aligns to allow for a train scenario.
恐れながらも軍議を進めようにもこの偉人が。
I mean, outside of like the parts of I think 3 that take place in the future.
Yeah.
わしの大事なおとぎ衆であるぞ。
おとぎ衆ですと。
異国の者は物の見方が違う。得るべきところも多かろう。死の後の言うでない。
Eat shit, Mitsuhide.
別所長春の首か。
裏切り者じゃ。何年もこやつに手を焼かされてきた。兵糧攻めにご
The
ざい
head in
ま
the
す。
box. It is 7.
こやつめは自害よ。播磨は上様のものにござる。あっぱれじゃ秀吉。
Oh, hey, Hideyoshi.
ようやった。これぞ兵法じゃ。光秀。秀吉のように頭を使わねばならんぞ。そして慎みを持て。安家のようにな。
Mitsuhide, you suck.
本願寺の一向一揆の坊主どもをついに下し。
You are not as cool as either Yasuke or the other guy who just was on screen.
Hideyoshi.
Thank you.
我が軍門に下るか滅びるかじゃ。
Go get a chimchar or something. Maybe that'll make you cool.
He has to be in Pokemon Conquest, right?
Hideyoshi?
No, Mitsuhide.
Yeah, he is. Can't remember what Pokemon he uses though. I think Ginshio uses a Luxray, which is fun. Fucking Hideyoshi obviously uses Chimcharmers, of course. Let me see. Mitsuhide Pokemon Conquest. Oh, he has fucking Articuno.
我らを襲ったのは伊賀者とのこと。資格など恐れはせぬ。手首に怪しげな刃を携えた頭目がおるとも聞いておりまする。ここは奴らが
Mysterious blade on his wrist.
直ちに攻めるは良いとして巧妙に兵を動かし相手の裏をかかなくても。
しかしながら今は辛抱し敵の動きを見極めるが寛容かと。
今はまだ伊賀も弱っておるはずじゃ。ここは一つ。
お主は引っ込んでおれ。安家、伊賀との戦、そなたはどう思う？
身長を期する徳川様の策が最善かと。まずは敵方の動きをつかむべきでしょう。
慎重ですと。敵の意図は明白。気を逸すれば。
黙れ。思案の最中じゃ。
Shut up.
Mitsuhide is so upset.
私がしばし考えをまとめる間、こたびの秀吉の勝利を祝い、まずは皆で飲むとしよう。腹は決まった。
Also, looking it up, Ranmaru is not one of the people hanging out in the next set. He's hanging out with Nobunaga, which makes sense.
上様がそれがしの声をお聞きくださるとは。
そなたの弦は軍を動かす力があるのだ。
なんと。
出立の支度をして休んでおけ。明日は出陣じゃ。
In the Pokemon Conquest, apparently, Ranmaru uses a Lucario.
Neat.
I'm just gonna go look at this list of Pokemon Conquest warlords.
Has there ever been a Pokemon Muso?
No.
I don't think so.
Just Pokemon Nobunaga's Ambition and Pokemon Tekken.
One of these days.
Yep.
Pokemon Extraction Shooter. Surprise, bitches.
Horse.
That's what Lieutenant Surge was doing in the war.
このご恩忘れませぬ。
Oh, hey, it's that guy.
Dun dun dun.
Hitman with Pokemon would also be cool.
I mean, to a certain extent, that's like Legends Arceus is sort of that ish.
に立ってみせますれ。
Because you can stealth capture.
Because you can stealth capture Pokemon.
敵陣に切り込む時もその息を忘れるでない。
Find someone when they're on the toilet and just roll an Electrorb into the room, or under the door.
Actually related.
No, it's like the thing. It's like the thing where you pickpocket somebody and put a grenade in their pocket, but you put a Voltorb on their belt instead of a Pokeball.
I think I saw.
You
a
steal
picture
someone's trainer
somewhere.
badges so the Gyarados won't listen to them and kills them. Make it look like an accident.
逃れたものと思うておりました。
一度は逃れたが、他の者を無事連れ出した。
Related to Hitman.
しかれど寺はとうに焼け落ち、蘭丸目はその場で腹を切って果ておったのだ。
なんと忠義な
Or was it?
信長様のご加
I thought it wasn't this far back.
あの場を離れるは身を裂かれる思いであったはず。
光秀には必ずや報いを
I
受
don't
け
know.
させねばなら。
But
そうさせましょうぞ。
there are apparently Mario-themed pre-order bonuses for the new Hitman on the Switch 2, including a green outfit, perhaps, for one Mr. Hitman.
Nice.
The year of Luigi has returned.
When the world needed him most, he returned.
くれぐれも用心召されよ。
Luigi on trial for the death penalty. Oh no!
Super Mario Sunshine sequel got real weird.
I'm gonna be honest, every time I see a trailer for a Mario game these days, I'm like staring at Luigi, waiting for him to do anything. Like, will there be any kind of reference? And I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure during that Mario Kart World trailer, he did turn into a Bullet Bill at one point.
As one does in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Writing words on the bullet bill. How's the healthcare in the Mushroom Kingdom?
I mean,
if you're running a fever, you eat an ice flower, and if you got chills, you eat a fire flower.
Also, I would assume just eating a standard mushroom will protect you from any harm once. So, you catch the flu, you eat a mushroom, and then you just shrink back down, and your flu is gone.
We've had a gimmick for this stream, and I'm not gonna change it.
All Yasuke all the time.
All the Yasuke all the time. I want to start at like 1. Let's start up here. Let's go meet up with this fox man who is definitely not just hanging out in
Get some leaves from Mysterious Fox.
Oh, I don't have a fast travel point in I don't have a fast travel point in Obama. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, Obama.
I'm just wishing there was a quest in the Obama area where, like, the townsfolk get together and do something for you so that your character can just look into the distance and be like, thanks, Obama. Just collectively thank the town as a meme.
I've gotten all of the skills that I can get with the Naginata at the moment.
It seems pretty good. Granted, it's also like the only thing I've seen you use. Oh yeah, you did get the club. Did you ever try that out?
I never tried the club out. The main thing is just like, it's a matter of like, well, I gotta put like points.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've been doing a lot of Naginata and Gun. Other way around. I mean, I guess that's what fast travel is for, but I do kind of wish that I could just, like, let go of the stick and have the horse continue on the path.
I will say I've gotten a little too comfortable in the Monster Hunter, just like hitting up and then not paying attention.
Yep.
Just letting my chicken take me wherever it needs me to go.
It is nice, and only sometimes has the monster not gone quite as far as I was expecting it to go, and then I'm just, like, sitting there holding the sprint button, like, as my secret just runs face first into the monster. I'm just, like, looking at a YouTube video or something and going, oh, whoops, hold on. Also, I thought there was weird floating battle pass currency there, but there was not.
See, I kind of wish this game leaned a little bit harder into, like, the gimmick of the Animus trying to be, like, a meditation app. Like, I wish there were parts where the Animus programming was, like, breaking into this and trying to, like, jarringly convince you to relax and meditate. It's like...
We put all these meditation... There was... hilariously related to that, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing my off-screen thing.
Mm-hmm.
This meditation spot right here, over in Mount EA. You start it, and then a dude just comes up behind you and tries to murder you. And also, he was like level 50, so he did.
Yeah, that'd do it.
He was level, I couldn't see the level, it just showed up as a skull.
Oh, that's always fun.
And he appeared to be part of one of the mini circles I have not bumped into yet, but it was still just like, whoa!
This is my spot, dog!
I'm trying also, that kind of reminds me, this game doesn't have an equivalent of, like, the mercenaries who came after you in Odyssey, does it?
So, sort of not, but also sort of. Mm-hmm. So, when you mess up in stealth, or, like, you just let, also, they're just Ronin who decide to say hello on the street. But, when you let an enemy ring a bell in, like, a castle, you get, like, a wanted state, and that spawns in really tough high-level dudes called Guardians to come in.
Okay. But there's not, like, specific guys.
No, it's just Guardians. Yeah.
Okay.
There's not, like, a league of them. There's no...
I kind of missed... That was one of my favorite quest chains in Odyssey, was, like, picking out the, like, various mercenaries and working my way up the ranks.
This is not beside Hitokoto Shrine. That is, in fact, very far away. Not very, like, still within 100 meters away, but it was like, when you tell me it's beside something, I assume it's, like, you know, beside it, not.
I mean, it is close to the entrance of the shrine. If you count the whole mountain that you're on as the shrine, it is technically next to the shrine.
I guess. Also, it is foggy as heck. Oh, there's a lot of dead people in here. And I didn't even do it.
Ones that you didn't make even.
Still, you did make the walls need more cleaning.
Yeah, how is there not, like, what do you call it? A crime scene cleanup Assassin's Creed?
I mean, I think that's just, like, Viscera cleanup duty or whatever that
That's
game
what
is
I was saying.
called.
Like, that, like, I couldn't remember the name of the game exactly, but yes, that game. How's there not one of those tied into Assassin's Creed?
I don't know. I mean, it also seems like the type of thing that, like, Power Wash Simulator would do.
Yeah.
They cross over with a bunch of weird things.
Power Wash Simulator Abstergo offices. I really do feel like someday they should just bite the bullet and make a full modern day Assassin's Creed.
They should. I've said this.
If only to put the future storyline to bed.
Yes.
Because then they can go into their full historical games if they feel like it.
I would agree with this assessment.
Even more future Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed in space.
Use the use the DNA learning DNA tech to discover your descendants and not your ancestors.
Predictive DNA tech. Oh man, you can do that with like the terrible generative AI.
Oh,
Use
God.
that. No, it studied everyone's pasts through their DNA and it's now predicting your future from your DNA.
Oh no, this is This
no,
is,
look, that
this,
is exactly
this
the
is
kind of dumb bullshit Abstergo would get up
yeah,
to.
like
Future
when I'm
animus
saying
and the number of fingers on everyone's hands is shifting.
when I'm saying oh no, what I'm meaning is I can see this and it would be entertaining.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Everything looks really washed out and just people blending into each other and copyright infringement all over.
赤い提灯を探せ、あるいは花を使えばすぐに見つかろう。
あの者も伊賀攻めに加わっておったのか。
まあ他の多くの家臣と共にな。
されどそれは過去のこと。我らは今後の世のために戦うておる。それにしてもあれほどの死と
Also, I was gonna make a joke when you talked about Assassin's Creed in space of like Assassin's Creed moon landing, and then it turns out they were secretly like getting an apple of Eden or something from the moon. And then I was like, wait, isn't it actually a plot point in
Yes.
Assassin's Creed that they planted an apple of Eden on the moon during the landing mission?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Like I was trying to make that joke, and then I realized that was actually just a thing.
Assassin's Creed Apollo 13.
I feel like we shouldn't get too deep down that rabbit hole. Because then you get to Assassin's Creed Challenger, and it's like, ah.
Assassin's Creed JFK. Oh no.
I mean, there has to be something about that, right?
JFK was an assassin and Lee Harvey Oswald was a Templar.
Oswald was a patsy.
All right, we got dinner here. I gotta go. But,
Makes sense because I'm probably going to wrap up pretty soon here. I'm kind of
That makes sense.
just looking for one of those Kakarega fast travel points, so in case I need to get back to the lovely town of Obama, I don't have to hoof it.
There's a lot of people running.
Because there's a large black man just running down the street also, like... It's like one of those like fireworks display T-shirts where it's like if you see me running, try to keep up. Oh. Or I can just like do the story quest because I think the guy that Nagahide was telling me to go find is probably somewhere
Is he
around
just
here.
like right here?
Well, they said look for, the red lanterns. Oh, there he is.
You've now entered the red light district.
You see the Yakuza 0 thing has like an online multiplayer mode they're adding in?
I heard that. Who the fuck are you playing as in Yakuza 0? That, like, 4 people? Or would you just be like 4 Kiryus?
They have up to 6. They have supposedly 60 playable characters.
What?
You can play as Kuze, I saw that.
Well, okay then. Alright, that's pretty cool.
There are clearly more blue. Oh, there's one.
Will Tanimura finally return?
I don't think so.
As one of those 60 playable characters?
There was a picture with most of them. I did not see any like modern Yakuza characters.
うどんと何か付け合わせを。
味は薄めか濃いめか、具はタケノコかわかめか。
霞を。
長秀様の使いか。何があった？
家の者が皆殺されてな。誰の仕業か知るにはここに来ればいいと聞いたのじゃ。
ああ、恐ろしい話だ。だが、わしはただのうどん屋。まあ、腹が膨れると口が軽くなるやつが多いがな。そして一つや二つ、噂話を耳にすることもある。
いただこう。
海賊が若さで暴れておる。盗みに殺しに抜けにと何でもござれた。サメ吉というやつが頭らしい。面構えも見た。顔に傷のある大男だ。馬でも絞め殺しそうだったな。日向浦の出のようだ。
まずはそこへ行こう。他には
長秀様は若さに縁がある。お前が止めなければ若さでまた血が流れるだろうな。それと海賊でよくこの店に来る者がおる。話すのはいつも鶴ヶ城のことだ。さて、味はいかがかな？
ここに来てから食うたものでは一番うまかった。
海賊を退治してくれ。お代はいらん。
Alright, cool.
しそうになったな。
昼ヶ浦と鶴ヶ城、手がかりを2つ得たな。
何かあれば知らせを。
ではまた来てくれよ。
Okay. I was really hoping for, like, can I talk to this man again for some other side thing? No, it's a different guy. There we go.
この魚は臭いほどうまい。さあ、慣れ寿司だよ。どうだい？
I have no idea what this is for, like the food merchant stuff, but I keep finding them and I keep collecting them, so
It does say quest item.
yeah.
Maybe it's just somebody you haven't met yet would really like to know about all this food, and when you find them, it's gonna be like, oh man.
It's probably because there's like these that I should probably one stream just go around and just talk to like all these little exclamation marks here. Be like, there's clearly a bunch of side things. perhaps on Monday that will be what we start the stream doing. Chatting with all of these extra side missions that I just haven't talked to yet. But that's a later thing. Because I'm getting really tired, so I'm going to stop streaming. Ugh.
All right.
Good night, everybody.